Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Tuwe Shafiq, and today the topic of my presentation is Kashmir conflict or the conflicts or Kashmir. And the contents which I am going to discuss in my presentation would be introduction, its background, 1947 UN intervention and partition, increasing conflicts and armed issues, major countries involved, organizations involved in this issue, political parties which take part in this issue, major groups which are involved in this conflict, and the leaders involved, and its impacts on international relations, its consequences, solution, and at the end, I will conclude this topic. My assignment, I have also mentioned the timeline of Kashmir conflict, but due to the shortage of time, I couldn't explain it here. So let's move towards the introduction. The region of Kashmir is a majority Muslim but still ethnically diverse area located in northern India with a mountainous terrain of approximately 2,220 square kilometers, populated by approximately 9 million people, surrounded by three countries India, Pakistan, and China, has resulted a years of war and violence since a hasty decision made in 1947 by the former British Empire to split the late British India into the Muslim majority Pakistan and the Hindu majority India with its independence. This dispute has thus fueled multiple wars and a dispute that remains unresolved even as of today, since a princely state in the middle called Kashmir was left on its own between two forces. Let's move towards its background. The Indian Independence Act of 1947 was formed in July to free India from Britain and create two new dominions, that is, India and Pakistan. The reason for this was due to the riots between Muslims and Hindus on August 1947. Pakistan, which was majority Muslim area, was formed, and India, majority Hindus area, followed shortly. While this was an attempt to solve the problems of hostilities between the two, the plan was executed in a way that only strived for short term stability. The issue with the partition was that there were many princely states under local leaders that were not directly administered by Britain. In the end, a hasty conclusion to simply allow the different princely states to either join any of the two newly formed nations or remain independent was given. At that time, the ruler of the princely state Jammu and Kashmir, Hari Singh, who was a Hindu, wished to remain independent, so he signed a standstill agreement with Pakistan. Unfortunately, soon after that, Pakistan rebels took over Western Kashmir on September 1947, forcing Singh to join India in return to block the Pakistan invasion by signing the Instrument of Accession. India later guaranteed Kashmir's independence for everything, including communications, foreign affairs, and defense, which was termed as 370 of the Constitution. Let's move towards the 1947 UN intervention and partition. The reality, however, was that the region was dominantly Muslim, who was upset with the Hindu nation India. This fueled rebellions which were suppressed. This situation eventually sparked a war between India and Pakistan, which forced the UN to intervene by facilitating an agreement to divide the region and demilitarize it. And the image below is the partition line agreed upon in 1947. Further, we move towards the conflicts and increasing arms. The second conflict was the first conflict was in 1947, which I have already discussed, which was dissolved by UN at the end. The second conflict was in 1965, and it was erupted over the same region when the forces of two nations clashed along the border. The conflict, termed the Indo-Pakistani War of 1965, intensified when Pakistani troops took over Kashmir, in which India asked the UN to intervene again. The Security Council passed a resolution calling for peace, and the United States and United Kingdom reacted through cutting weapons trade with both sides, which forced both nations to accept a ceasefire. Shortly after, the Soviet Union acted as a mediator, and negotiations ended in 1966. both sides giving up their claims and earning nothing. Moving towards the third war, it is Kargil War. A third war called the Kargil War erupted in 1999 between the two nations for the Kashmir region again, when Pakistan intensified its artillery shelling of the Kargil sectors with militants infiltrating the Indian zone. While the conflict lasted only 2 months, there were significant casualties. The result was that India was able to reclaim the area occupied by the infiltrators, and hostilities concluded when Pakistan assured retreat. In the end, the conflict also had earned neither nations anything again, like the previous clashed land. Clashes between these two countries have also seen in 2003. Then we moved towards the Pulwama attack, and The start was the Pulwama attack, which took place on 14 Feb. A Kashmiri from Pulwama by the name of Adil Ahmed Dar drove a vehicle of explosive into a group of buses with Indian pro-military police, and soon after, a Pakistan-based military group by the name of Jaish-e-Mohammed claimed that it had done the attack. Following the attack, relations between the two nations have worsened rapidly. Continued Pakistan based terror attacks persisted in other areas around the border, and India has chosen to increase tariffs for Pakistani goods. Then we move towards the Balakot airstrikes. Military reactions have also been taken by India, which is why soon after had India responded with the Balakot airstrikes on 26 Feb. While India claimed this was on intelligence-led operation that was not military, it was still believed to have killed approximately 30 militants of Pakistan. Pakistani forces responded with a counter-retaliatory strike on the following day on Indian-controlled areas of Jammu and Kashmir, and the lockdown in Kashmir. As a result of this, there was a complete lockdown in Kashmir and almost curfew, so that no one was able to move out of his house. If anyone do so, he or she was killed at the spot. The major countries involved in the Kashmir conflict are India, Pakistan, and China. As one of the countries directly involved in the issue, India's role in causing and dissolving the conflict is enormous. Not only has it written Article 370 in the past, while it revoked, it has also performed the Balakot airstrikes and threatened the Pakistani border. Next, Pakistan. The nation of Pakistan is another nation involved in this conflict. While it is the nation that has chosen to strike first regarding the Kashmir conflict, the result have not been very favorable. Next is China. While not at the center of the dispute in 2019, China also has some minor territorial claims in the region of Kashmir and is also one of the most powerful nations in the world. Next, we move towards the organizations which are involved in the Kashmir conflict. The first organization involved in this is United Nations Security Council, and UNSC has intervened in this conflict in the past, and once again, the violence and hostilities occurring in Kashmir in a topic of discussion in 2019. However, since this forum is the General Assembly, further commentary references to the UNSC in the resolutions may be made as long as the content of the resolution remains within the powers of the General Assembly. Another organization which is involved in this is UNMOGIP, United Nations Military Observer Group in India and Pakistan, and this monitors the peace situation between India and Pakistan. Further, we move towards the political parties which are involved in this Kashmir conflict. Number one party is the Jammu and Kashmir Democratic Freedom Party, and it was formed by Hashim Qureshi and Shabir Ahmed Shah. The next party was Jammu and Kashmir People's Democratic Party. It was formed by Mufti Muhammad Saeed in 1999. The next party is the All Parties Hurriyat Conference, and it was founded in 1993. The Indian National Congress. Next party is Bharatiya Janata Party. And the last party is the Jammu and Kashmir National Conference Party, which was founded by Sheikh Abdullah. Now moving towards the major groups involved in Kashmir conflict, that is Jaish-e-Mohammed, and it is a militant organization that operates in Kashmir but is based in Pakistan. The group's main aim is to ascend the Indian-controlled regions of Kashmir to Pakistan and to instate Islamic governance. Hizbul Mujahideen, it is a militant organization that has operated in Kashmir since 1989 and is the militant wing of the Kashmiri political and religious groups, that is Jamaat-e-Islami. The current leader of the group is a Kashmir town as Saeed Salahuddin, who resides in Pakistan. The next group is Lashkar-e-Taiba. It was founded in 1994 as the militant wing of the Markaz, a center which was founded in 1980s by Hafiz Muhammad Saeed and is one of the largest and the most active of the militant operations. Now we move towards the leaders which are involved in this conflict. That is Farooq Abdullah, Umar Abdullah, Shabir Shah, Abdul Ghani Butt. Moving towards the impacts of conflict on IR. Since Kashmir is not a legitimate state, the region is divided amongst the three countries in territorial dispute, and those are Pakistan controlling the northwest portion, India controlling the central and southern portion, and the Ladakh and the People's Republic of China controlling the northeastern portion. Due to the claims of the more than one nation on this state, this is a cause of conflict between the state and disturbing the peace situation of the world. Now we move towards the consequences of the Kashmir conflict, and the first consequence of Kashmir conflict was forced displacement and refugees. A report states that 1998 armed conflict between India and Pakistan produces a large number of displaced peoples. Over 2,200 families comprising 1184 persons had migrated from Doda, Udhampur, Poonch, and Rajouri regions, and more than 400 of these families took shelter in the Tolwara camp in Risai and Udhampur. Its another consequence is death. Kashmir conflict is one of the cause of violation of human rights in South Asia. It has resulted death of thousands of people, and also human rights violation is also seen in this, and psychological impacts. The psychological impact of conflict and violence is everlasting. During the war, many lost their beloved persons that injured themselves psychologically. Solution. How can the Kashmir conflict be solved? The late Indian PM Lal Bahadur Shastri put the matter in a nutshell in his speech at the opening session of the Tashkent meeting in January 1996. Scholars have provided some recommendations to address the protracted Kashmir conflict, which are as follows. The peace process has to also address the oppressive policies and the propaganda fueling the movement, increase accountability, expanding people to people contact, and the deliberation on effective devolution of power among different regions to meet their aspirations. Uh, the major the following major possible solutions have been put forward from time to time to resolve the dispute of Kashmir, that is Pelbiscite line of control as international border, independent Kashmir, United Nations trusteeship, Good Friday Agreement, and exercise of cultural diplomacy. Now we move towards the conclusion, that is the end of my presentation. The history of international relations in the region has been marked more by conflict than cooperation. The region is experiencing the Kashmir conflict, one of the protracted conflicts in the world, which is known as time bomb for the South Asia. It is high time for realization of the importance of resolution of this conflict. It is widely recognized that the peace and prosperity of South Asia is mostly depending on the future of this conflicts. And this is all. I thank you all to have your kind attention. Have a nice day. Allah Hafiz.